In a world that's constantly changing, there are countries that are rising above the rest, making waves economically, socially, and technologically. But what's driving this rapid growth, and what can we learn from these transformations? In this video, we'll take a closer look at the 10 fastest growing countries in the world in 2025. From booming industries to groundbreaking innovations, these countries are redefining the future. You won't believe the surprising growth stories we have ahead, so stay tuned. Number 1. India. India is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating growth stories of the 21st century. With a population of over 1.4 billion, India is not just growing in numbers, it's becoming a global leader in sectors like technology, manufacturing, and digital finance. The tech industry, in particular, is the driving force behind much of the country's growth, with Bengaluru and Hyderabad becoming hubs for innovation and IT services. But the story doesn't end there. India's automotive, textile, and renewable energy sectors are also seeing significant growth, thanks to an increasingly competitive global market. However, India faces challenges unique to its vast scale. While its economy is surging, it still grapples with massive social inequalities, and a substantial portion of the population lacks access to quality healthcare and education. Urbanization is creating pressures on cities, leading to overcrowding, pollution, and a rising need for sustainable development. India must find ways to balance its industrial growth with its environmental and social responsibilities. As India's economy continues to grow, how will it address issues like poverty, resource scarcity, and social equity while maintaining its momentum as a technological powerhouse? Number 2. Vietnam. Vietnam's economic boom has been nothing short of spectacular. As the country transitions from an agricultural economy to an industrial powerhouse, it is quickly becoming one of the leading manufacturing hubs in Southeast Asia. The government has implemented policies to attract foreign investment, with a focus on creating business-friendly environments that are attracting international companies from the tech, electronics, and textile industries. The country's impressive economic growth has lifted millions out of poverty, and it has seen a rapid increase in urbanization, which is leading to a flourishing middle class. However, like many rapidly developing nations, Vietnam faces the challenge of creating jobs that are sustainable and provide long-term value. Moreover, as the nation continues to grow, so too do the concerns about its environmental footprint. How will Vietnam balance rapid industrialization with the growing need for environmental preservation and social welfare? As Vietnam modernizes, it will need to ensure that its development is not only fast, but also inclusive and sustainable, setting a model for other countries in the region. Number 3. Bangladesh. Bangladesh's rise to economic prominence is largely due to its burgeoning textile industry, which has made the country the second-largest garment exporter in the world after China. This sector has led to job creation on a massive scale, boosting the national economy. Yet Bangladesh's growth story is more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. The country has invested heavily in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, which has helped to lift millions of people out of poverty. But while the garment industry continues to thrive, it is also a double-edged sword. The country faces challenges such as labor rights concerns, environmental degradation, and a vulnerable economy tied to a single industry. Additionally, Bangladesh's rapid urbanization is putting pressure on its infrastructure, with the capital Dhaka struggling to keep pace with the influx of people from rural areas. The question for Bangladesh now is, can it diversify its economy and sustain its growth in the face of these challenges? As one of the fastest-growing countries in South Asia, Bangladesh's future will depend on how it transitions from being a manufacturing economy to a diversified powerhouse. Number 4. Ethiopia. Ethiopia is one of Africa's brightest economic stars, thanks to its recent investments in infrastructure, agriculture, and manufacturing. What's remarkable is that the country is transforming while still dealing with significant challenges related to political instability, regional conflicts, and poverty. Yet Ethiopia's ability to overcome such hurdles and maintain steady growth is due to its focus on industrial parks, which have attracted both local and foreign investment. Agriculture remains a major contributor to Ethiopia's economy, but the country is looking to move up the value chain by improving industrial output. The country's booming construction industry, largely driven by massive infrastructure projects, is creating jobs and boosting economic activity. However, Ethiopia is facing several hurdles, including the challenge of maintaining political stability in the face of ethnic tensions and ensuring that growth is inclusive and benefits the entire population. Can Ethiopia balance its rapid growth with the need for social, political, and environmental sustainability? How will it navigate these obstacles and continue to drive forward as one of the fastest-growing economies in Africa? Number 5. Nigeria. Nigeria, often considered Africa's economic giant, is experiencing a resurgence in its growth, particularly in sectors like technology, agriculture, and entertainment. The country's tech ecosystem has exploded in recent years, with cities like Lagos becoming hotbeds of innovation. Nigeria's fintech revolution is especially notable, as the country leads Africa in mobile banking and digital finance. Despite these advancements, Nigeria continues to face significant challenges. Its economy remains dependent on oil, and fluctuations in global oil prices can heavily impact its growth. Moreover, issues like corruption, infrastructure bottlenecks, and political instability continue to hinder the country's potential. But Nigeria is also a nation of opportunity, with a young, tech-savvy population eager to create new businesses, products, and services. Nigeria's future will depend on its ability to diversify beyond oil, tackle corruption, and build the infrastructure needed to sustain its growth. How will the country navigate these challenges, and can it fulfill its promise as a regional economic leader? Number 6. Rwanda. Rwanda's economic transformation is one of the most inspiring stories in Africa. After the devastating genocide in 1994, the country has risen from the ashes to become one of the continent's most stable and fast-growing economies. Rwanda's government has placed a strong emphasis on technology, with a growing number of tech startups and a commitment to becoming a regional leader in innovation. Additionally, Rwanda's commitment to sustainability is evident in its efforts to protect its environment and invest in green technologies. However, Rwanda still faces challenges related to its rural areas, where poverty and inequality persist. The country's economic growth has been impressive, but ensuring that the benefits are felt equally across the nation is key. Can Rwanda continue to lead by example and balance rapid growth with social equity and environmental preservation? Number 7. United Arab Emirates. The UAE is a country that has always fascinated the world with its modernity, wealth, and luxurious lifestyle. But beneath the surface, there's a story of visionary leadership and strategic diversification. Once heavily reliant on oil, the UAE has branched out into industries like real estate, finance, tourism, and technology. Cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi have become global centers for business, attracting international talent and investment. One of the UAE's most impressive achievements is its space program, which aims to make the country a leader in the field of space exploration. The UAE has also made significant strides in renewable energy, with plans to build the world's first fully sustainable city, Masdar City, as part of its efforts to transition away from oil dependence. However, as the UAE's economy continues to diversify, it faces the challenge of ensuring that growth is sustainable and inclusive. How will the UAE navigate the challenges of transitioning to a post-oil economy, and will it be able to maintain its position as a global leader in innovation? Number 8. Chile. Chile is another nation that has managed to balance rapid economic growth with a commitment to sustainability and innovation. Its vast natural resources, particularly copper, have been key drivers of growth. But the country is also looking to diversify its economy into sectors like renewable energy and technology. Chile's investments in solar energy have made it one of the world's leading nations in harnessing solar power. However, Chile also faces challenges, particularly related to social inequality. While the country's economy is booming, the benefits are not always shared equally among the population. The country must ensure that growth leads to improved living standards for all, particularly those in rural and marginalized areas. As Chile moves forward, can it continue to grow while addressing inequality and ensuring that its wealth is shared by all its citizens? Number 9. China. China's economic rise has been one of the most dramatic and far-reaching in history. Over the past few decades, the country has transformed from an agrarian economy into a global manufacturing and technology powerhouse. China's economic growth has lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and has made it a dominant force in global trade and commerce. Yet, as China faces an aging population, environmental degradation, and rising political tensions with other nations, its future is not as certain as it once seemed. The country must find ways to adapt its economy and ensure that its rapid industrialization does not come at the expense of its people or the environment. China's future growth will depend on its ability to innovate, balance social needs, and maintain its global influence. Will it continue to lead, or will it face hurdles that slow its momentum? Number 10. Malaysia. Malaysia has rapidly evolved into one of Southeast Asia's most dynamic economies. Its manufacturing sector has grown substantially, and the country is positioning itself as a hub for technology and finance. The country's commitment to sustainable development is also noteworthy, with major investments in green energy and infrastructure. Yet Malaysia's growth is not without challenges. Political stability remains an ongoing concern, and the nation faces the task of diversifying its economy further. As it looks to grow in areas like digital services, biotechnology, and tourism, it must address the socio-economic disparities that still exist between urban and rural populations. Can Malaysia continue its growth trajectory, and will it be able to balance progress with the need for greater social equity?